Welcome to the Girl Gang. I'm Katrina Gardner of Katrina and Create.
And I'm Dominique Goyette-Connerty of Evergreen Marketing. On this show, we're going to chat with women business owners in Massachusetts and those who support local women in business.
Because girls don't just want to have fun. They also want to sell real estate.
They want to open a brewery.
They want to teach others to invest in the stock market.
They want to take stunning photos, plan lavish parties, and help people recover from injuries.
Girls just want a podcast.
What can we say?
We're girls.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Girls Just Wanna.
Girls Just Wanna.
Officially 50 episodes in.
50.
I mean, this is 51, so now we can say officially that we've done 50 episodes.
Yes, 50 plus.
I mean,
Damn.
look at us.
Look at us.
Doing the damn thing.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it? Yeah. Why did we start this podcast again? Just kidding. No. Well.
No, we started it on a whim.
Yeah.
I very vividly remember, I think you called me.
I did.
And you were like, want to start a podcast?
Well, I feel like we were in a phase of sending voice memos back and forth. We haven't done that in a while. We should go back to that.
That was a good phase.
That was a good time.
I used to leave the coffee shop to go listen to your voice memo. So excited.
We used to send so many voice memos. And so we'd send a text first that would be like, incoming voice memo. Mm-hmm. And then the voice memo would come through and it would be like 4.5 minutes. And so then we thunk it. We should just turn this into a podcast. No, just kidding. That's not how it started. But it was weird. I had a friend from college reach out and be like, hey, I'm opening a podcast studio. Well, he wanted me to help him with marketing the studio at first and then helping his clients,
a little trade,
market their podcasts. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I went to go meet him at the studio and he was like, do you also want to start a podcast? You can have the space for free. And I was like, yes, actually. Yeah. So I recruited Katrina.
When opportunity comes a knocking.
I think I called you on my way home and I was like, so what are your thoughts on starting a podcast? And you were like, I've actually always wanted to. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew that because I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And then we came up with it and we did all the brand. Katrina did all the branding. Mm-hmm. We made all the accounts, the email, the socials. Mm-hmm. We started like brain dumping all of our ideas. We had a brainstorming meeting at Greater Good.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And like we brought our laptops and I couldn't figure out. I was like, I've been here before and I don't know if this is really the place where you bring your laptops to work on things. So that was funny. And then
we've gone through a few different iterations of what the podcast looks like.
Yeah, because we've moved studio. This is our third studio now. Yeah. That first studio did not work out in the very early days, so ditched it. And here we are. Yeah. So anyways, in honor of 50 episodes, you should be telling a friend about the podcast. Share an episode with them that you liked. Follow us on social media if you haven't already. We're very active on Instagram. We are semi-active on TikTok, and I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We have an email newsletter you can subscribe to as well. So head over to our Instagram, to our link in bio, and you can sign up there if you're not already on the list. Mm-hmm. And you should be reviewing us on whatever platform you listen on.
Yeah.
So I know some platforms you can write a review, others you can just leave a certain amount of stars but no review. So do those things, please and thank you. Yeah, and help us grow the show for the girlies.
Yay.
Yay, so happy 50 episodes. Maybe we should have brought balloons or something.
We should have.
And next time.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it at 100.
Yeah.
We'll get 100 balloons.
All right, should we bring in our guest?
Yes.
All right.
Hey ladies, are you looking to grow your own local girl gang?
The Young Professional Women's Association has been named Worcester Region's Best Young Professionals Network for 7 years now.
YPWA offers countless social and professional opportunities to engage and empower local ladies like you and me.
Right now, Girls Just Wanna listeners can get discounted access to YPWA's annual membership.
Go to ypwaworcester.com and enter code podcast2025 at checkout to receive $20 off their annual membership. Again, that promo code is podcast2025. We hope to see you soon at YPWA events.
Welcome to the show, Dr. Brittany Falcone.
That's right. You
Worcester
gotta-
Family Chiropractic. I had to practice before we came on. I was like, Falcone? Falcone.
It's a common mistake, so no worries. I'll answer to both.
Okay. Or Dr. Brittany.
Yes,
right?
that's usually what I go
Yeah.
by at the office.
Perfect. Well, so you are the owner of Worcester Family Chiropractic. It's your practice.
That's correct. Yep, I started it myself actually 6 years ago in February.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we made it through. We opened in 2019, so
Mm.
kind of COVID year 2020. It was definitely a little bit rocky and scary for a period of time, but we've come out on the other side, and we've grown a lot since that time. It started off just me and my office manager, Mindy, which I'll let you in on a little secret. Mindy's my mom, so it's a real family business over there.
Yeah, I love that.
A lot of people are surprised that we can work together. But
I was gonna say I love my mom. She's the best, but I don't know. Sometimes after a weekend with her, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for some space now.
Totally.
But where are you located? Where's the practice located?
Sure. Our office is located on Shrewsbury Street in Worcester. But we're located just like a little bit off the street. So it's nice because we have plenty of parking and we're adjacent to the park that's right there with the playground and the splash pad for those moms out there that know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Awesome. And so tell us about like what your practice specializes in. I saw a lot about pediatric care and pregnancy care, but it's also you're doing chiropractic. Like I didn't know that kids went to chiropractors. Is that stupid of me? I don't
think it's stupid of you.
No,
I didn't know that was a thing. So tell us about like your specialization.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to talk about that. I really started Worcester Family Chiropractic, I would say, with the vision for caring for every member of the family. And so that's why I called it Worcester Family Chiropractic, not Worcester Mommy Chiropractic or Worcester Baby Chiropractic. But when you kind of definitely online, our messaging is that we take care of moms and we take care of children, and thus we take care of families. It really is the whole continuum. Both of the doctors in the office, myself and Dr. Michaela, are certified in a special technique called the Webster technique. And it's a specific way to analyze and treat pregnant women that makes the care safer and more effective. Usually pregnant women are coming to us. I wish it was like, I want to have a healthy pregnancy and, you know, I just want to feel my best. But I would say 9 times out of 10, they're having some sort of pain or discomfort, sciatica, back pain, lightning crotch. Do either of you guys have kids?
I do.
Katrina does.
Okay, so you might know what I mean when I say that, or symphysis pubic dysfunction, but lightning crotch is a whole lot more fun to say, I think. Not fun to have.
I'm scared, but
so I'll be able to help you. It's okay.
The only time I've gone to a chiropractor was after I had my kid, like maybe 6 months or a year after, and my back was just hurting so much, and I'm pretty sure it was because of breastfeeding and just like constantly holding this child, and you know, just like you're spending 24/7 like in this like hunched position, and I was just like, I cannot get rid of this back pain. So that's when I went to the chiro, and I think I learned a lot about how just having a baby just, you know, it
destroys
changes your whole like makeup.
Yeah, it does a lot to your body.
Yeah.
And so it, like I said, it is true. We see pregnant women, but very soon they hopefully eventually have a healthy delivery and a healthy baby. And we're often taking care of them postpartum too, for that kind of all sorts of different complaints, from back pain to headaches to upper back tension, all from the stress of carrying and caring for their newborn baby, which is amazing. But we do feel a little bit broken sometimes afterward, because it's a lot of work physically and emotionally.
And then it's interesting too, like I've seen the videos of babies getting you know, corrections and adjusted, and then you do think about it, and it's like these little infants go through quite a bit squeezing out of a canal.
Yeah. I think the research supports right now that it's about 90 pounds of pressure on the baby's head and neck just to exit the vaginal canal in like a normal, natural, you know, uncomplicated delivery. And so you can imagine how much pressure and stress that could place on their neck. With babies too, I always have to have the disclaimer of whatever YouTube videos you've seen online of chiropractors, you know, cracking and popping and having microphones near people's necks. That is not at all what it's like for babies. It's incredibly gentle. I always say it's about enough pressure to dimple a tomato, or like when you check the ripeness of an avocado at the store, that little pressure. So about like a half a pound to a pound of pressure. And there's absolutely no quick movements, which is nice.
And so what are babies and kids coming to you for chiropractic care? Like, what are some of the issues that their parents are seeing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, I hope and wish someday that every baby goes to a chiropractor just for wellness. I mean, we all have teeth and we all go to the dentist to get them cleaned and maintained. And I do think there's huge value in maintaining our spine and our spinal health through the course of a lifetime, but that's not our reality right now. Typically, they're coming in with a certain set of complaints that kind of all relate to each other, but I have a fun acronym I like to use. I call it JET syndrome. So J stands for jaw. That's anything to do with the mouth. So a lot of breastfeeding challenges, feeding challenges. There's treatments we can do to the muscles around the TMJ, the palate or the roof of the mouth. So if you are listening to this podcast or know someone who's struggling with feeding their baby, chiropractic care might be something that could help them have a more successful feeding relationship. So JET syndrome, E for eye. So eye means where the eye looks smaller or bigger. So any sort of facial asymmetry or cranial asymmetry that you're noticing, like a flat head, that can create facial asymmetry changes, and that's the E. And then T is for tilt or torticollis. So anytime if you have a baby or you see a picture and their head is always bent in one direction, or they're always like looking to one side, that is another feels really chiropractic, right? Like their neck is tight and they're looking one way, and we're able to help manage and treat that condition, which often eventually does create some head shape concerns because they're always looking to that. I was going to say
that makes sense, like because babies, like their heads are so big that when they sleep, they have to have their head to one side or the other because like it just doesn't stay.
Yeah, totally. It's real.
But I've seen like the cutest, funniest videos of like a baby that gets its adjustment and then like it might fart or something, but they just look so happy. Like, and it's like the smallest little movement or something, but you can see like whatever was bothering them just like releases.
Yeah. I tell parents after a visit to the chiropractor, expect a big something, a big sleep, big emotions, or a big poop. And I think it's just because it does relax them so much that they just do all the things that we expect babies to do, like be more comfortable, sleep better, their digestive system works better, which could lead to another thing we're going to talk about is like that kind of off-label stuff that chiropractic
So like when I think, I'm an adult, when I think of a chiropractor, I think of, okay, if I were to have neck pain or back pain, I'm probably going to a chiropractor. If it, gets to a certain point, that's like the specialization. But what I didn't realize when I was looking on your website and kind of researching was like chiropractic care can treat so many other things or, be used to assist in the treatment of so many other things. Can you talk about those like off-label things that people wouldn't expect to see a chiropractor for?
Sure. I wish I brought my spine as a prop to like show everybody, but I think it just comes down to the fact that a lot of people don't realize that their back and their spine is about a whole lot more than just their back. So our back actually houses the spinal cord, and it's the way our brain communicates information down and then out through the nerves to go to every part of our body. And so I like to think of the spine like a circuit breaker, with each circuit of the spine or each level of the spine correlating to different parts of the body or different rooms in your house. And our job as chiropractors is to evaluate those light switches, those circuits, and make sure they're all turned on the way that they're supposed to, so that your body can work and operate at optimal level, essentially. And that's why a lot of it is typically children that we see with those off-label conditions, constipation, for example, ear infections, sinus congestion, bedwetting. Sometimes those things could be coming from the spine, or their spine could be part of why they're struggling with that particular complaint. And therefore, there's things that we can do gently to help support their body naturally.
Nice. How did you, kind of like switching gears to the treatments, then all the things that you work with, how did you get into chiropractic care? Like, did you know from a young age you wanted to like at least be a doctor and then you found chiropractic care, or did you know you wanted to be a chiropractor? Like,
Forever.
how'd you find this career path?
Yeah, I think I always knew I wanted to be in medicine of some kind.
Yeah.
And I briefly thought about becoming an orthodontist because I had braces, and I feel like your smile is something you really see about somebody, and that really changed my life. But then I realized you had to be a dentist first, and I was like, oh, like I hate the dentist. Like, I mean, they're a great person, but nobody look yes, I get to go to the dentist today. You do it because you have to. And so that quickly went out the window. And then I thought about the next type of person that really transformed my life. And I was a patient of a chiropractor at a young age. And I went for one of those off-label conditions. So I struggled with bedwetting, which even to this day is like embarrassing to talk about. But I was 12 years old and wetting the bed and not able to go over my grandparents' house and have sleepovers, go to my friend's house, because I was afraid I was going to have an accident. And my parents tried everything to help me, like most good parents, including I had to wear this little, I remember it was like a bell and it had a little pad. And when it got wet, it would like go off like a fire alarm to wake me up. That was awful. It didn't, I mean, it woke me up, but then I couldn't go back to sleep. And anyways, so my parents tried everything. And when somebody told my mom, I don't know who it is to this day, but someone told my mom to try chiropractic. And I'm sure like some people watching this podcast or you sitting there not knowing much about that off-label, she was like, how is a chiropractor going to help my daughter with bedwetting? This doesn't make sense. But you know what? Why not? Because nothing else we've done has helped. And I was one of those kind of unique cases where I got treated once and then I didn't wet the bed for a week. So clearly there was something going on with my spine. And now looking back, at the time I thought it was, a special adjustment. Now being a chiropractor, I'm like, they didn't really do anything overtly specialized. They just looked at my spine, did the adjustment, and it helped me. And it made me realize how important the back is. And that was a very transformative experience for myself, obviously, because I'm sitting in front of you today as a chiropractor. But then my whole family have been chiropractic patients since that time. And it was something that we did together as a family on a regular basis for our wellness.
Wow. It's really a family affair. And as you said, your mom works with you now.
Yep.
You said it was just you and your mom, right? When you opened in 2019.
That's correct.
But you've grown since. I know you have another doctor on board. You have other staff how did they come up to the team and how have you grown, I guess, in the first few years? Yeah,
within a year I had hired, I think it was summer of 2020. So within a year I had hired a second chiropractor. And then that required additional support staff. We had grown to a third chiropractor, but unfortunately she had to move to Michigan. So we pulled back a little bit on how many people we employ. But now we have 3 front desk people. I have 2 massage therapists on staff, and then the 2 doctors. So I can't do the math, but hopefully you're better at it than me. 6 people.
Team of just under 10, it sounds like maybe.
And then in our office, I rent out space to an acupuncturist and to a lactation consultant. So we are really working towards creating more of a wellness facility where you can get all the different types of supportive or complementary or alternative care that your family might be looking for.
Yeah, so like wraparound services that kind of go well with what you're already offering and helps the family achieve.
Lactation consultant goes great with the chiropractic offerings. Right.
Yeah, going back to that jet syndrome of how they might have struggles, and if there's tension, then sometimes it's easy for them to kind of go back and forth between our offices.
Yeah, and I know as someone who had a kid, like how difficult it can be to even know where to look for those types of resources. Like if you want to breastfeed, but you're having trouble. And I remember, so after I had my son, I had a prolonged hospital stay, not by a long time, but longer than most moms who only have like 1 or 2 days after they have the baby. And at the hospital, there is lactation consultants, but you only see them like once, and then you're discharged and you go home and you're like, I don't know how to do this. And I got to see them like every day for like 6 days. And I was like, I have all these tools and I have all this knowledge. And I felt really lucky for having that because like my sister did not breastfeed. She tried and she was like, it's just not working. And I was like, well, did they give you like a nipple shield? And they didn't. And she's like, no. So I'm like, obviously I'm like geeking out about breastfeeding, but I'm like really passionate about like the knowledge is out there and being able to offer it to people is, I think necessary for different communities.
And I think you're saying something super important in the sense that like for most women, it's not an easy journey. And there's a ton of guilt, I think, that comes around that because it's like, this is what I'm supposed to be able to do. I'm supposed to be able to feed my baby, and then to struggle and not have that support system or not have the resources to help you achieve it. But in my world, it is much more of the common story that women are struggling. But luckily, they have people like me and people like lactation consultants or people like you who can help them as friends and family to get the support they need to achieve whatever their goal is around their feeding relationship.
Yeah. Are you currently accepting new patients at your practice?
We are.
Okay.
Because of our specialty, we pretty much kind of focus and are accepting mostly new and expecting moms and children and pediatric patients. If you called and you were in a car accident, likely we would not accept you as a patient, refer you out. And it's just because it's not our specialty. We are not the best at treating it. And we have a list of local offices that we like to refer to when it is something that maybe isn't necessarily our focus or our strength.
Okay. And so how should people get in contact with you if they're, new or expecting mother or new baby, new child? And
yeah, great question. I think the best way is to reach out to the office directly. Obviously, visiting our website, you visited it, and it's
got a whole lot of info on there.
Yeah, and it's pared down from what it used to be because we went through a rebrand like last year. But I like that's definitely my focus is education and communication. And so I think you could learn a lot just from checking out our website. But if you did have additional questions or were interested in booking, we do have to collect, because we are a type of a doctor's office, a lot of information from you that isn't easy to just get off of a contact us. But there is a contact us thing on our website as well.
To get that started, yeah.
And we are, of course, on, I think, Instagram and Facebook, so you can kind of look at some of our content on there to get a better feel for our office and a better feel for what we do.
Perfect. All right. Well, hopefully people get in contact with you if they need your services and you can either help them out or refer them. We like to end every episode by giving guests the opportunity to shout out another woman in business, woman-owned business.
Am I allowed to do two?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because all of a sudden I was like, man, what am I going to say? But today, right after this, I'm actually going to one business back to back. So that was what I thought of. Right after this, I'm headed to acupuncture over at Rooted. That's the office that is directly connected to mine. But I'm seeing Lexi Lynch for my monthly acupuncture session. And then after that, I have a hair appointment at Sage and Grace on Shrewsbury Street too with Brittany. Which is an organic vegan salon that I absolutely love. So if you haven't checked that out, you guys should check them out.
Okay, totally. Those are two great recommendations. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Brittany, for coming on with us today. It was great to meet you and learn more about the business.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Want to show your love for all the local ladies in business? Girls Just Want a Podcast merch is now available on Etsy.
From stickers to mugs and hats to tumblers, you can rep your favorite gal gang wherever you go.
Your purchase helps us continue to rent studio space, upgrade our recording equipment, and pay for editing software.
Find Girls Just Want a merch on Katrina and Create's Etsy shop. Link is in the show notes. We're back, and it is time for
Heart It or Hate It.
So, funny thing real quick about Heart It or Hate It, since we're, celebrating 50 plus episodes. So a woman whom I go to the gym with listens very loyally every single week. She listens every Wednesday as soon as it comes out. She's been a great supporter of the show. And she said to me, this is at the kickboxing gym, she said to me last night, I was talking about, we have like a Star Wars theme class coming up because of May the 4th and whatever. And I was like, oh, I've never seen Star Wars. I've also had no interest in seeing Star Wars.
Fair. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know, I just never have. And she's like, there are a lot of things you've never done or never tried. I'm coming to learn. And I said, did you say that because of Heart It or Hate It on the podcast? And she's like, yes. She's like, Dominique, facials, cruises, massages. I was like, okay, in fairness, yes, I have outed myself on this podcast for doing not a lot of things. And in fairness to me, I'm broke. So
I was going to say, I think you also have a very
things.
Responsible personality type, whereas
Yeah.
I'm like,
and I'm young.
money's easy come, easy go, let's get the facial.
She's dollar bills, y'all. Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm still young. I still have a lot, I hope. I still have a lot of life to live. Who knows? I might just say that and then walk outside and, I don't know, get hit by a bus. But I'm still young. I still have a lot of chances to get a massage or a facial or go on a cruise, which I don't want to do. That's the thing, is with me, if I have spending money, like it is going directly to flights to other places.
Fair.
vacations.
Bye-bye.
Now, I don't have that money, so that's
Right.
not happening these
Right.
days, but I just feel as though the first thing I would spend my discretionary dollars on is not a facial or
Yeah.
a cruise. It could be baseball games. It could be vacations.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly ice cream though. Anyways, with that said, thank you, Angie, for outing me in front of the whole class. And welcome to Heart It or Hate It, where Dominique creates the worst digital footprint for herself. If I ever had a stalker, they would know everything about me. So I should tone it down. Anyways, Heart It or Hate It, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Heart it or hate it, air purifiers.
I've never, no, I'm kidding. I don't have one, but wait, is that like you plug it, like it's like, it vents the air?
Yeah, it's plugged
like
into the
filtering
wall.
the air?
It's like a little machine,
Yeah.
and yes, it filters the air, so it takes the bad stuff out of the air, and then
And like dust and like, it's like
Supposedly.
allergens and, okay, I'm gonna go Heart It. I don't have one, but I actually want one because I have the cats. And their litter box, I don't know if it would really help with this, but their litter box, even though it has the hood and the thing,
yeah,
my whole apartment is dusty
Yeah.
24/7.
yeah,
And like cat hair gets everywhere, which I do a very good job of vacuuming religiously and brushing them religiously, but like you just can't control it. My mom is very allergic to, dander, so my cats. And I feel bad that when she comes over, she's like, I'm gonna stand here and not touch anything.
right,
Or I'm gonna stand outside.
right,
So I would like one,
yeah.
but I don't have one. I'm gonna go Heart It.
So we recently acquired 3.
Wow, really?
By acquired, I mean my husband went out and bought 3 because he
Wow.
decided that we need them
It was the most important thing.
for cats.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, he just thinks that our air is dirty and whatever. So he got one for each level of the house. And
Have you seen the results yet? Have you like pulled out the filter thing and been
No.
like, bleh?
we've only had them for like a week.
Oh.
But I hate white noise.
Oh.
And so
Interesting.
now I'm
So-
working in my little silence, except it's not silent. It's just this like little hum, whether I'm in my bedroom or my living room. And
You just can't escape this hum. It just follows you wherever you
I'm
go.
so annoyed.
It sounds like your husband has like a personal like vendetta against you. He knew you hated white noise. He went out and he bought 3 air purifiers.
Well,
Not one, 3.
He'll
so you
also,
can't
like,
escape it.
have the fan going all the time,
Mm.
because he likes the noise of the fan, and I'm like, I don't like it. Like, I've gotten used to that by now, so I will get used to the air purifier, but it's just a new version of white noise in my house that I'm like it just. So right now I'm gonna say hate it. I understand it. We have them. It's probably for the best. It's for the greater good,
of the family.
but I am annoyed. So
Great and good. I am the greatest good. Tell me somebody knows that reference from The Incredibles.
okay, now that
When she's like, I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
Yeah.
Honey, where's my super suit?
where's my super suit?
So funny. Okay. Heart it or hate it, yoga. I know. I'm a little like back and forth.
I'm a little on the fence. I
Yeah.
mean, this might be a weird take. I prefer yoga at home than going to a yoga class.
Okay.
Like watching a YouTube video, like
Oh.
a 10-minute YouTube video.
Okay, yeah.
I've done that quite a few times, and
That's
that's
good.
just like a good way to get in like a stretch. Maybe I've just never found like a yoga instructor that I really vibe with. Maybe that's an important part, or like the type of yoga that is correct for me. I just tend to find myself getting bored in yoga classes.
So I did a yoga class this past weekend with YPWA, which I have not done yoga in years.
Yeah.
I feel like I am not the right personality type for yoga. Shocking, I know. Don't you think I'm so calm and like serene? Don't I give off that impression of like she's totally chill? No. I am, as we've discussed before, a kickboxing instructor. I want to run around and hit shit. I just don't bring that same presence, that same calming presence into a yoga studio. So
Maybe
anyways,
you need yoga more
well,
than anyone.
that's what they tell me, but who's they? We don't know. But so I took yoga, and like it was good. No hate to the yoga class, no hate to the instructor. But the whole time I was thinking about how I never do relaxing things like this.
Yeah.
So like, and stretch this way and stretch that way. And I'm thinking, wow, I should really do more like self-care. Like my brain was just like this the whole time. And I was like, it was the opposite of relaxing because I was just thinking about how I never relax.
Yeah.
So that was a mind trip.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
I also don't know if I can see myself doing it. I felt the same way about when I took a bar class. I was like, all these tiny little movements. Don't get me wrong, it's hard and it works your body. But I was like, what am I thinking about?
Yeah.
The 20,000 things I need to do after this.
Yeah. And I think that that's probably like the point of yoga is that you're supposed to learn or train how to like turn your brain off and like be in the moment. And neither of us seem to be able to do that because I just like, I don't know. I'm in a yoga class and I'm like, when do we go upside down? And they're like, you don't. Like, that's not like in 5 years, Katrina, you need to like chillax. And I'm like, I want to do.
You're like, boo, I want to do it now.
I want to do headstands. I want to like do like partner, like aerobic yoga, you know, like crazy stuff. I don't just want to like breathe for 8 counts and then breathe out. You know, like I'm ready to pick up the pace. Which the point is that you shouldn't want to pick up the pace. You
right.
Want
I'm
to
like, when do I get to hit stuff? They're like, this is yoga. We don't do that. I'm like, are you sure?
They're like, we will kick you out of the class.
What are we gonna say? I feel bad saying hate it because I don't. But
I'm very strong.
I know. It's like I hate it for me because it's forcing me to do the work that I don't want to do.
I also like want to be a yogi.
Right? Like I want to have like Sunday morning yoga and brunch and la la la.
Yeah, I want to be that person.
It's like, it's idealistic.
I heart the idea of it.
Ugh, I hate this. I guess I'll go, all right, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to go heart it.
I was going to say heart it.
Even though I feel like I'm leaning closer towards hate it because I feel like I'm not going to, even though it sounds nice to like, oh, I'll make it a regular part of my routine. I feel like I'm saying that knowing that I won't do it.
Yeah.
So I'll go heart it, but mostly because I feel bad that I don't actually heart it.
I'm going to be Delulu and say heart it.
Okay.
And just like be like, yes, I'm a yoga person. I am not a yoga person, but like heart it because I'm a yoga person.
Okay, what do you have next?
My next one is heart it or hate it. Hugs.
Why did you put that on there? I hate it.
I think I was like watching something and it was about like families that are huggers and families that aren't huggers. And so
I've never been a hugger in my life.
I also hate it.
Hate it.
Yeah.
We've hugged. I've hugged you recently. But
yeah.
You know, it was a monumental hug. Sometimes you need it, but
oh yeah.
But like that's not I don't regular everyday like oh my god Katrina, so good to see you.
I hate the interactions where you're like, is this person gonna hug me? Like, are they a hugger? Like, do I need to hug you? Like, are we handshake people? I would rather not touch at all. I'm just like, hello. Like, don't touch me. But I don't know.
Let's go back to pandemic social distancing where you have to stay 6 feet away from me at all times.
I was on the list. I was even remembering like there have been times that like me and my mom have had to have like, you know, real important family talks, like family drama, and she went and like held my hand, and I was like, I couldn't focus on the trauma that she was telling me because I was like, mother, you're holding my hand.
You know what's so weird is like I've maybe hugged my mom like 10 times in my life.
Yeah. But I've hugged my mother-in-law every single time I see her, which is multiple times a week.
I bet your mom hates you. Your mom is like, wow, you're hugging Jesse's
she
mom.
doesn't hate me, but she loves my husband because he hugs my mom. And he's probably the only person in the world that hugs her.
Yeah.
Because they're not a hugging family.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
And people like it. They're like,
some people
they're like,
and
Jesse,
then,
he's a great guy.
You know what I hate though? Is when someone like just immediately hugs you and you're like, oh, okay, like this is happening, I guess. And then they're like, sorry, I'm a hugger. And I'm like, yeah, that's like not really.
I think that's what made me think of this. It was one of those other podcasts. It was that one with those two women that we've talked about. They often talk about like political stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was. Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
So we both listened to that. Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
I watched the clips on TikTok.
Okay. Yes. Then we got the same idea.
Yes.
Yes. It's I've had it podcast with
And she
Jennifer
was like-
and Pumps.
She was like, I've had it with people that say like, oh, I'm a hugger, and then hug
And
you.
she's just like, yeah, that's not an
Yeah.
excuse. That's not
Yeah.
like you don't get a permission slip just because you've
Right.
announced that you're a
Right.
hugger.
So-
Yeah. Good point. I'm glad you put it on the list then because I did see that recently.
Yeah.
I listened to their show religiously. Yeah.
All right, so we're both hate it.
Okay, last one. Hard it or hate it. Beans. Like black beans, red beans, kidney beans.
Okay, so I saw this on the list, and I immediately wanted to vom.
You don't
But-
like beans?
Okay, I like black beans.
Okay.
I would never eat beans on their own.
Well,
That
a lot of people don't.
no, but I think the
Like-
first thing I thought of in my head was like baked beans.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I hate baked beans. I've only had them a few times and I don't not like them, but I don't like seek them out. But you know what's good I think is like the refried beans when you get at like Mexican restaurants on the side. Those are good. But usually like the beans I'm thinking of like you put them in a burrito or in in some sort of dish with rice or
I will eat black beans. Usually that's like the bean that I have, and I'll put it in recipes or something.
Yeah.
That's like a casserole, like a fajita
Yeah,
casserole
yeah, yeah.
or something, and you add the black beans. You're like, that's great. That's like a little bit of protein or whatever it is, and
or whatever it is.
it's healthy. I've heard.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm trying to eat more beans
Yeah.
because #fiber, #protein.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea.
It's good for you.
I really didn't start eating the black beans until my adult years of trying to get healthier things. in
Yeah,
my-
beans are very good for you.
Yeah.
But I do think they're delicious. So like I don't have an issue with eating them. I like their texture. That they're like, I don't know, they're like soft. I guess I don't know how to describe them, but I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anyways, #heartbeans.
I'm gonna say hate it.
No.
If my answer is that I will only eat black beans in,
A fajita casserole.
Right. I don't think that means I really like beans.
That's fair. I'm gonna make I'll let you know. I'm gonna make a trail mix this weekend that I saw that someone at the gym made that was really good. And
A
it's
trail mix?
Listen, you
With
like
beans?
Yeah, you like bake. You put the beans on like a sheet and you bake them for like an hour to like dry them out. You have to like fully dry them out, and so it replaces like the peanuts of the trail mix.
Oh.
So it's like it's crunchy and yummy,
Oh.
but you have to. Yeah, I have to try it. It's gonna take. So I'm gonna use. I think I'm using red kidney beans maybe and chickpeas like garbanzo beans.
Yeah.
And you have to roast them for like an hour each. So it's gonna be a project, but
Okay.
I'm gonna try it. I think it could be good, and that's a good way to get more beans.
Yeah, the last casserole I made was last week, and it's a French onion casserole, and it's literally just noodles, beef, French onion dip, cream of mushroom. It's just
Oh wow,
creamy heartburn in a casserole.
heartburn.
And it was delicious.
Good.
0 nutritional value.
Whatever. Sometimes you need them.
Yeah. Is that it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll
That's
see
about
you
it.
next week.
Bye. Later, ladies.
Later.